Zoom recording to the cloud. Okay. So I'm going to share the agenda. So kind of not much written out from everybody. So I think the first thing we'll do is go over the minutes from last week and then see, oops. Okay. So this is the minutes from last week taken by Alejandra. Thank you for that.
Sorry for reading the template.
Oh, no, it's totally fine. When I went in there, it wasn't messed up at all. So, okay. So the first point was Paul's going to do a map of the cafes. Lisa was going to help with that. How is that coming?
Yeah. Okay. So I published on the closed group of the World Summit and Synergy Hub that we're going to have a meeting next Tuesday with all those hosts who wants to open a World Summit Cafe or already have one, and they have to send us their location, address, and information, So just one answer, and so well, I think we're gonna have to kick some ass. I don't know, because nobody answered, and there's at least 10 of them. They were saying that they in a way in coming of open one and everything. So the meeting with them, it's next week. So, and I know Paul published something on the Envienta platform on the World Summit Cafe and Synergy Hub, that he's going to do a map and blah, blah, blah. I don't remember. He's not here now, but I thought he's going to explain it. But yeah, so we don't have any information for those hosts. So what I suggest before the meeting with them next Tuesday. So next Tuesday, we're not going to be just us. We're going to be with the host of the World Summit Cafe. I hope so. And I'm gonna write to them personally today and tomorrow to ask them if they still wanna be. I'm gonna talk to them personally. So this is my suggestion.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Are you planning on like emailing them or Facebook Messenger?
Facebook Messenger.
Okay. Well, we might try both because I would imagine we still have their emails from when they wanted to join. So it might be.
I know them, I know them. I talked to them before since 6 months, and they know me. So I'm not very email person. I prefer direct contact. So, and I'm going to follow up, if they don't answer, I'm going to follow up with them.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good to me. I don't have any suggestions on how to more efficiently do that. I don't know if anyone else does.
What do you think, guys?
Well, I've actually been thinking about this myself lately because, lack of response through emails. And I heard somebody mention about calling people the other day, and I immediately thought that was not a very good idea for obvious reasons. You get into charges. But if there's a way we can, maybe if you can WhatsApp them for no charge, I think it's best if we can call people when it gets down to it. When we really we need people there. We need to have direct contact. Maybe we should consider using the phone.
Well, you can call people through Facebook Messenger.
Yes.
So. Okay. Well, I think that's.
But only if they're only going to receive it if they're green, if they're online. They're only going to know you called if they're on.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Though isn't WhatsApp the same?
Huh?
Isn't WhatsApp the same? I don't actually know.
It's like a phone, WhatsApp. It's like a telephone.
Yeah, WhatsApp is your telephone. It's just an application that helps you to avoid any charges.
So anybody have other idea to activate them? Try.
So you're going to send them a message on Facebook Messenger, and for the follow-up, maybe you can call them too by the Facebook Messenger.
That's not the
Just to make
issue.
sure.
No, the issue is the same as with activating groups, right? People
Yes.
are not there yet. They're not fucking getting it. Excuse me. So I don't know what it's going to take.
Well, I'm sorry, Troy. I have a good news. People of group, they answer me and they're in.
Okay, so then it's leadership on our part.
No, I think we have to, like we discussed last week on this meeting, we have to babysit them at the beginning. We have to take them, like next week, they're gonna be with us. I'm gonna, this week, in the next few days, I'm gonna contact them and say, okay, are you still in? And if you're in, come next Wednesday, next Tuesday at the meeting and blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
You
Are you getting good response from the groups on your activation of them?
Well, yes.
Okay. So yeah, I guess maybe that's the same thing that we need to do with the cafe hosts.
We have to push them and babysit them a little bit.
Well, and tell them the same thing. It's like, we built the table. Now we just need you to come and sit at it.
Oh, yeah. And we'll see if they don't show up next Tuesday. Well, what can I do? That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to assign them some kind of task so they participate, because you said that, okay, we already have the table, you are welcome to join here, so please bring some wine, cheese, or something here. So you can set them some small task, like maybe they tell us which is their database, or how many people they have invited, or which ideas they have for their meetings or something.
Wait, yeah, we were talking about having a live, are you talking about next Tuesday would be a live cafe?
No, next Tuesday we're gonna sit with them like we're gonna do with the group in the mini summit, Troy.
Okay.
Interim, the Zoom call. But yes, the Tuesday before we could do that at the hub. The other girls gonna be there. We could do like a cafe. Yeah. So next week we sit with them here. We talk about what we're gonna do and what their problem, etc., etc. And next Tuesday we do a cafe with all of us, and we do it live, and they listen and they participate, whatever. That's a great idea. Yeah, ID. ID.
That's what we talked about.
Richard, I say that for you, yeah.
That's what we talked about last time, right? Doing like a live cafe with all the hosts at the same time, and with us?
Yep.
So we need to let them know that's what we're thinking, so they can get excited about it and feel like they're part of something bigger than just their local thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's maybe
Right.
part of it. They sort of felt like just left hanging out there on their own, you know?
Of course. Great. So yes, I will do that. I will talk to them personally, and well, put it on the closed group Facebook that we will build World Summit Cafe as an example, and they're going to be part of it, and blah blah blah. Okay?
So Lise, maybe we need to do the very same thing that you've done with the groups, where you recorded a little video talking about activating them, and then we composed a little description that goes on the YouTube page. I don't know if you guys have seen Lisa's activation video.
Great idea.
But
Great idea.
So maybe we could get, why don't you come over here and get Rob to do, let's film another one just like you did for the groups, but for the cafes. Get in your car, drive over here now.
And tomorrow you want to stay to the beach there.
I want to stay in my paradise. Fuck.
Oh, it's all about you, isn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
With her paradise.
What did you say?
That I
What,
want
Angela?
I will behave the same as you. If I had such a paradise, I will not leave.
And don't take me wrong, guys, huh? It's very cheap. It's not an expensive place. It's very cheap. It's cheaper than many places, but it's a beautiful spot.
Well, maybe we need to change the Synergy Hub there. Just kidding.
Well,
Okay.
Okay.
you should have
You
a
do
cafe
that?
there, please.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that, Troy?
You should have a cafe there, Elise, in Paradise.
Well, there's a kind of weirdo people around here, believe me. I don't think you want those kind of people. There's a guy, he walk on the street at night and yell at everything. And I asked my neighbor, he said, well, he live alone for too many years. Now he talked to himself and he's yelling at the sky. So, and there's an old lady, she do, my God, she lived 40 years in India. And well, she's very kind. I met her on the beach, and she's kind of okay.
What's the name of that crazy man? Just to write it in the minute. Not just
Okay. I don't know his name. He's weird.
Going back to our theme, to our main topic, do you think that it would be a good idea to record the activation video in Spanish too?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because we would love to get a bunch of cafes started here in Mexico.
Speaking of, I've gotten a couple recent submissions from Mexican citizens.
Say again?
I've gotten a couple recent submissions from Mexican citizens.
Really? I wonder if that's from the beach cleanup day and all that.
Oh, maybe. They were taking pictures of
The
the
t-shirts.
for the website. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, I think it probably would be helpful then to have it in Spanish so that you could send it to people who speak that language.
Well, maybe you can do one in Spanish and
And the one in English.
No, do one video. Do it instead of a 2-minute video. You do a 4-minute video. The first 2 minutes is English. Second 2 minutes is Spanish.
I don't think that's because then the people who speak Spanish would have to like skip through to that section.
True.
And it would be a lot of irrelevant stuff for them.
Right.
We can also use subtitles. I know how to program them into YouTube videos.
Yeah.
That could be the two.
Okay, so what are we trying to do here? It's who has seen Lisa's activation video?
I haven't watched it yet, but I read the script.
Lisa, why don't we take the time to watch it? Because I think it's quite good, and I think we basically want to duplicate that for the cafe hosts.
Okay. Well, if someone wants to, Lisa, if you have that, you can take over screen sharing.
No, I'm gonna put it in the comment. Don't give me to square sheet.
I'll do it. She doesn't have bandwidth to do it.
Are you gonna? Yeah, because I'm very bad at that. Richard, are you falling asleep? Richard, wake up.
I have it here, so just give me a minute and I'll share my screen. All right.
Actions required. Richard needs to be awake because he's in charge of many people's life.
All right. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lise Simard, delegate and co-creator of the World Summit. I'm addressing this video to the founders of the groups. They are already part of the World Summit with their logo on our website and other ways, and to make them more activate in the World Summit. Let me tell you a little bit about myself to begin. 2 years ago, when I decided to change my life and find a purpose to help the people around the world, because I didn't believe in the socioeconomic system, I was looking to different groups like yours on the web and ask people. And I find out about the World Summit. Well, all your group are perfect, but when I find the World Summit, I find it good because it's to unify all groups. So I say, why not? It's better to have everybody in the same time. So, okay, so now, since a year, about 18 delegates work with the World Summit. They're from different groups around the world, like some of your groups. And they work as volunteers to build a table to bring us to a main event in June 2019. Now we bring the table, everything is ready. We set documents, we set website, we set orientation about the 12 sector, that they are more important to bring us to the main event in June 2019. Now we need you guys. We need you to get involved with us. We need you to be involved 100%. What we thought to do, we're gonna do an interim event. We did a mini summit in January last year with 18 delegates. Now, in this January 2019, we want to do an interim event to prepare us for the main event in June 2019. We need your help, guys. Like I said, everything is set up. We just need you to come with us. We are going to do a Zoom mini summit meeting in 2 weeks from here to gather with you guys, to sit with us and virtually to talk about that and to prepare that. Like I said, we need you to come with us. We need your help. It's time, we're ready now. Please join us. Thank you.
Cool.
Okay. What do you think?
Great job.
Yeah, that's definitely a very motivating video. I think you're right. If you change a little bit of that, you could probably send that to the cafe hosts almost verbatim.
Yeah, and I think it's a great idea, Troy, that I'm going to do that and show them that we are ready. We just need them to be involved and blah, blah, blah. So, yes.
Yeah, it's the same message. It's the same issue, is that we need people. We need to activate all these people that want change. And yeah, we need to give them a kick in the butt and say, look, we've been doing this work for over a year now. The table is set. We're ready. Now we need you to step in.
Hey, maybe Lise, maybe you can make a video that is a little more general, that will cover all the slices, so that you don't have to make one for each specific slice.
Come on. Could you do it, you and Tiana and Troy? And
well, I do agree. Lise and I have been making a lot of videos with Rob here the last few days, and with Tony, and then Robert I'm picking him up at the airport tonight. We'll do some interviews with him. But we need these small videos from all of us, I think.
Agree. Like in the alternative funding and communication slides last week and alternative funding yesterday, we suggest that members of the World Summit made a short video of themselves why they joined the World Summit. And anyway, blah, 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 you're going to see, I don't want to interfere with the World Summit meeting right now, but every one of us should make a video why they joined the World Summit. It's not to be long, just a minute and a half, and just on YouTube, and put it on the World Summit group, and that's it. It's in French, we call it an effet boule de neige, snowball, you know?
Yeah, I think
anyway.
that shows the strength in numbers, that there's all these people joining us and activating. That's the theme. We need to activate people.
Yeah, I'm not sure you understood what I said, Lise. I was saying do one video for all the slices, just to activate everybody, so that everybody didn't have to do a video for that, or you didn't have to do specific videos for each specific slice. Just do one video that's general, that activates people, like just like what you did, but not specific.
Yeah. Well, I'm always thinking, when you really want to reach someone, you go personally, like the groups, I'm talking to them personally. I'm talking to them directly on their messenger, not to another person. And I think it's a good idea, JJ, to do a general video too of what we are doing right now, like Troy and Tony did. But for the What Summit Cafe, I would like to just, for this, they're going to feel like they're directly touched, if I could say.
How about we ask them to create, the cafe hosts to create a little video of why they're going to host.
Well, I think before that, we'd need to make sure they still want to be involved. But I do agree. I think that's a good thing, that we could have each of the cafe hosts make a video and they could distribute that locally, in their networks.
That's a great idea. And yes, Nathaniel, I agree with you. Step one, I contact them. If they're already on board, we meet with them next Tuesday here, the one they are already on board. And we put the suggestion of make a video. And I do a video in the meantime, I do a video and I talk to them. And next Tuesday, we ask them to do a video of film their place. Their place where they host a What Summit Cafe and talking about what they're gonna do. Yes, Richard, I agree too. Yeah. So step one, contact them. Step two, coming next Tuesday. Step three, doing their own video.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Okay, if everyone's ready, I think I'll go back to the minutes and we can continue going through the action points. So I think we sort of covered this. I'm not really sure anything else needs to be particularly said on that.
Well, what about create an agenda matching timeline? What is that?
Tony was saying that it was like the agenda of all the network of all the cafes had to be like the same topics.
Yeah, we were talking about having meetings. The cafe's hosts could have meetings or meetups, which is another thing we talked about, them creating meetup.com accounts.
Yeah.
And then we could have all the cafes given hosting meetups that would sort of match our timeline for creating the World Summit and the mini summits, et cetera, the interim transition. Is that right?
Well, I think it was also that we wanted to have them all have fairly similar agenda talking points in their meetings, in the cafe sessions. But I think part of that is it needs to come from them, like what their audiences are wanting to address and stuff like that. So that might be something we create with them as opposed to us creating it and handing it down to them. I feel like that's a little bit top heavy.
Yeah.
And that's, and it's supposed to be free, we give a guideline. We have all the documentation to give to them. They already have it anyway. But it's supposed to be up to them what they're going to do, with their kind of person they're surrounded.
Well,
but more than that,
that's debatable because we had talked about making these purpose-driven. Initially when we came up with the cafe concept, we were saying, they're just people hang out, have coffee, and talk about little events or talk about what's going on in their community. But then we felt like that was not purpose-driven enough. What we would hope is to get them engaged. So maybe we ask them on how to get local communities engaged in manifesting the World Summit, to flip the paradigm and leave that up to them. But it's sort of a purpose-driven communication about what the World Summit is about.
I agree, Troy, you're right. And that's give me an idea. We could do like I want to do with the groups, like every week, meet them here on Tuesday and do an open agenda. So they are involved in the agenda. They're gonna bring their ideas. They're gonna bring, yeah.
Okay.
We have to make them involved, yeah. And it could be starting next week. After I contact them in a few days, I will bring the agenda on the Facebook page and say, put what do you think you need, your question, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Can someone read the chat points out if they're important? I don't know.
I'm reading it. It's Tiana. She says she's going to do a video, and she says she's going because she has work to do. Bye, Tiana.
Oh, okay.
So this she wants to do videos about
She
this.
offered to do whatever videos we need.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why she joined the World Summit video.
Nice. Okay. Well, is there anything else from that bullet point? So I think everything else is about activating the groups and how to activate the groups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to contact them in the next few days. And I'm going to put a report so everybody knows before the meeting next Tuesday. I'm going to put on our personal messenger a report of what's happening. So you don't arrive at the meeting next Tuesday and don't know nothing.
Nice. Thank you, Lise. So I think the next one is about making a translation of the World Summit Café template into Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you were going to do that, Alejandra.
Yes, I have not done that. Instead I translated another the onboard, the onboarding alignment, the principal alignments and the template. Yeah. But I will do this before the next meeting is going to be ready.
Nice.
Hey, that reminds me, Alejandra, if you want to go through all the videos that have been produced, shorts or whatever, and write the text out in Spanish and send it to me, then I will do the closed captions.
Okay, for which videos can you share me the link, please?
For any videos, we should have them in Spanish, available in Spanish, and I can if you just give me the Spanish translation, I can input it.
Okay, yeah, I can do that with her. I'll show you the videos.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, it should be pretty quick, right? Because they're 2 minutes.
Yeah. Well, it might honestly be easier to have that transcribed in English and then translate it into Spanish from the transcription, so that she doesn't have to watch through all the videos.
Well,
If text is easier to translate.
Yeah, she's bilingual, so she can do it both, right?
You know, the one is important. It's the Prezi that JJ built. The Prezi, how do you call it, JJ? Prezi document?
It's Prezi.
Prezi. This one, it could be translated Spanish. It's very useful.
Also, the one
that's not audio. That's different. We're talking about translating audio.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, Alejandra, you have a task to translate everything we built since a year in Spanish.
Okay, I tried to do my
best. Girl.
That's why I started with the onboarding material, because as I told you, well, my body, yesterday I just knew that my body was and that he has been a bad body. So I need to introduce myself within all the things that we are doing. So that's why I started with the onboarding sheet. Well, I was able to read it, but I then think that if maybe I can recruit people too, that they are Spanish speakers. So we already have the material for them.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And also, while talking about the Spanish material, I also translated the alignment principles. So I will give them to Tiana for making the images in Spanish too.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna, these little themes or memes that Tiana's working on, you're gonna put those in
Spanish. Yeah, I already did that. So she's going to just put the text in Spanish with the same image.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, and I think having it be bilingual will kind of be a boost in our credibility as a global unification, which is nice. Thank you for taking that on. It's quite a task. Okay, so the next one, Troy brought this up, using Meetup for hosting the cafes. I still think we should consider Facebook events just because they're free. I think maybe at least for the first couple times, we should probably just do Facebook events.
Yeah, and not only that, just in terms of the bandwidth of each of us, because it's going to take time to set that meetup.com up, set up the account, set up the template, and yeah, I don't know. I think Meetup may be kind of an old, outdated forum now that Facebook does have events. So yeah, maybe we just focus on Facebook events for now. That's what Lise was doing last year with her cafe in Playa del Carmen, and actually we boosted a post about, we boosted the event, and we got quite a few. It was really cheap. It was like $10, and we got quite a few responses from it. Right, Lise?
Yes, agree.
So maybe we just forget meetup.com altogether.
Maybe. I don't know. That might be something to look into to see like what kind of relevance Meetup still has. I personally don't know. I've known people still use it, but I don't know how big it is.
Maybe you can
The
just
fact is,
go ahead.
the fact is with Facebook, you choose the area you want. So for example, I choose Quintanaro, which is the area of Playa del Carmen. So you reach the person, they are near you. You don't reach the person in Zimbabwe. And it's direct and it's not that expensive.
Yeah. Meetups based on local geography as well, but
yeah. I
just, everybody's on Facebook, except millennials, aren't they? So that's a thought. What, Nathaniel?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of alternative like social media sites to Facebook, but none of the ones I know of actually have like an events system.
So it'd be nice to know if millennials are using Meetup if they're not on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't know. I think checking the demographics of it would be interesting, but I don't know if they have that information available.
I think Meetup, it's an old-fashioned thing. It's an old paradigm.
I mean, so is Facebook, though.
To meet girl, for men to meet girl and women to meet boy.
No, Meetup's not a dating service. It's like an event hosting service.
Hey, I don't want to go off track here, but real quick, I'm just curious, since we're talking about it, have we done any type of paid promotion for the What's Up platform?
You mean boosting posts?
Boosting or any type of paid promotion, or have we just been promoting ourselves?
What did I boost? I boosted. What did I boost?
Your Tinder.
No, I boosted something about the World Summit and got like 8,000 likes on it, but only like 200 actual clicks and a few comments. And I just don't know how valid it is for that.
Was this recent?
Yeah, it was recent, just recent. I don't remember which post was that for, Lise? Do you remember? Was it for WhatsApp? What's up? Fuck, I don't know. But it's questionable as to whether it was really that effective or not. I mean, and how do you really know what to trust from Facebook? But yeah, I mean, it got like 8,000 likes I spent like $50 or $60 on it. And I think it was about the unified Patreon platform.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Well, I think we'll go on to the next point then. The presentation example.
I'm
The inspiration.
sorry, Nathaniel. I just want to update something. I just talked to Rob, and I'm going to do the video for the World Summit Cafe tomorrow morning at the Hub. So
Nice.
done, and I will be there for the UCT meeting too.
Okay. So the presentation example, inspirational inputs, I don't really know what that is in reference to.
I don't remember quite well. I think that it was something that somebody mentioned that we needed like a presentation video of how to do your own, how to set up your own network, your own free cafe, something like that.
It's what we just talked about, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So that's Lisa will be taking care of that tomorrow with Rob. And then the reconnecting with Jen for the Synergy Hub network. I think that's something Robert is working on.
Yeah.
So
Robert's been the main contact with her. I've had some discussions with her. So we'll probably tag team on trying to reconnect with her and Jen.
Okay. Nice. Well, I think that's all of the action points.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go back to the agenda for this week. There's not really much on here. Yeah, basically it was these two things, which we've already kind of discussed. So does anyone have anything else they want to bring up?
Yes, in any other business, we went to the Four Ocean event, recollecting the trash, and I made contact with the organizer. Well, I just have her phone number. Her name is Carla. Well, I have her number. So what we are going to do next? What is like the following step? Are we going to invite her? How are we going to?
Well,
that's for our outreach team.
That could be our outreach team. Could contact her and see how we can work together. That's also part of the event slice, because we were talking yesterday about was that alternative? Yeah, alternative funding. Yesterday meeting is talking about creating a festival here very soon to call it free or gifting. What was it? Gift economy gathering, something like that, where we could have local groups come together soon, very soon, and then tell them about the World Summit, and then hopefully that we would convey the funding model that we use with GBIs and Patreon platform. And then that would all be a lead up to hopefully getting some funding coming in, but also get them working on the mini summit or the interim summit in January. And so that would fall under the event slice to start putting that together. So,
if I may interrupt just for a second real quick, I highly encourage Alejandra, that you personally contact, since you have personal contact with this person already. Mm-hmm. I encourage you to reach out to them, because it's always better when you already have a connection.
Okay.
Especially since you're Mexican, that would be good. Yeah.
Agree.
Okay.
Well, okay, and then we're going to talk to her about collaborating together. And Rob actually filmed a video of us talking to her, so yeah.
Nice.
By the way, did you saw everybody the picture that Rob put? They were wonderful.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, from the volunteering.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty cool. Those shirts look good.
Yeah, thanks. I think those shirts really generated some excitement. this is something we could also encourage the cafe hosts to do, to get involved with their local festivals or environmental cleanup days or whatever. This is something that, I mean, we've seen just in that hour or 2 hours that we went and did the beach cleanup, how we were able to connect with people, get people excited about the World Summit, help the environment at the same time. And that's totally something that I could see the local cafe hosts doing.
Actually, that's an excellent idea. That could even be a focus for these places.
Yeah, well, and that's actually something we talked about initially, was that it's a way to get plugged in with your local community, right? But not just hosting it in your house per se. Now we're thinking, let's take it to the streets. So the cafe host could actually start taking the message of the World Summit to their local community at events and so forth, or farmers markets or whatever.
Thank you for that little modeling session, Lise.
So maybe we need to change our focus on the cafe, is that the cafe is not necessarily in your home, but it's in your community and in the streets.
World Summit Community Cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting idea.
Well, Troy, you remember when we built the idea of the World Summit Cafe? It was a local thing, and 6 months ago or so, we said, well, they have to be satellite for the main event. So if they local and international, they have to be international too, because we want them to be there at the main event. Like for example, if I open 1 year in Akumal, the main event, we want them to connect to the main event. Right. So yeah, like the guy in Philippines, it's local, but he has to be global too. So it's community and international, no?
I don't like the word have to. We should give them the option.
Right. Yeah, But so maybe what JJ suggested, we call it, instead of World Summit free cafes, we call them World Summit community cafes. And we shift the focus from people hosting it in their house. They can still do that, but we want to emphasize more getting plugged in with your local community. Yeah. At events and festivals and cleanup days and things like that.
Yeah.
Certainly sounds like a good idea to me as a way to spread awareness of the World Summit. Because a lot of people, go to those events who are passionate about this kind of stuff and are willing to put in work.
Yeah, and what we could give them T-shirt templates, and they could go and have their own T-shirts made up locally. We could give them, the image file, PDF or JPEG or whatever, and then they could go have their own, however many T-shirts they want to have made up, and go to these local events or cleanup days or festivals.
Yeah, and eventually we'll have funding, and we can support that.
Well, yeah. Well, if we can, that's a separate discussion. I would love to post to our whole group if somebody could help fund T-shirt purchases, and we can have a big bulk order of T-shirts made, and then that they could be used as fundraisers.
So something I just pulled up is something I've looked at before. It's a organic fair trade T-shirt company that they allow you to do screens of stuff. So it might be something worth looking at, because then it's, also good for the environment.
Yeah, great. And what I think I stick on my IDs. Yes, okay, the T-shirt, but you could be writing under Unify the Unifier. You could write, let's say, Philippines satellite for World Summit. you know, they have to have their own things on the T-shirt. So World Summit Satellite Philippine, that could be great. World Summit Satellite the Tennessee. We have one in Tennessee, we have one in North Spain, we have one in Malaga. Yeah, that's...
So have like a template where people put location information on it, so it's kind of more localized.
They are part of the World Summit. They have their own identity on it too.
I think that's cool.
Yeah. So let's have them next week on our call. Let's have them get in.
Sorry, you cut out there, Troy.
What's that?
You cut out there. If you could repeat what you said.
And let's tell the cafe hosts that you're going to contact, Lisa, that we've got all kinds of new, fresh ideas about T-shirts and getting involved in your local community. And we want them to come and be part of this discussion.
Yep. I'm going to do the video at noon with Rob.
Okay.
Sweet.
Cool. So and we can talk about this. Let's get excitement around this. Little T-shirts with your city's name on it and your cafe and how to get involved and locally, and tell them, instead of just having the cafe in their house, get out into your local community, go to cleanup days or festivals, etc. Any idea on the cost of these shirts, Nathaniel?
No, I looked this up like a couple months ago. I don't remember. It was for something else. I don't remember how much they cost per. But I think bulk ordering is lower, as is normally the case with
like 1,000
make your own T-shirts.
So ours is going to be multicolored because they're very there's 5 colors. 1,000 would be $6.03 each. Euros. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you get 10, it's like $33 each. So, but yeah, I think we can look at that.
Well, I'm sure there are other ones. That's just one I found. It was for some other organization. They were doing fundraising, and I was like, you should check out these T-shirts. But I imagine there are other T-shirts that we could find that we could potentially hand out at these events and be like, hey, this is a T-shirt for the World Summit that's, good for the environment in X number of ways, as kind of like demonstrating our integrity in that regard.
Right.
Yeah, and exactly. I think we should do that.
So we need help on that. We need somebody to spearhead that T-shirt project, because that's going to help us in multiple ways. It'll help with the cafes. We could just send out shirts to the cafe hosts. And we need help funding it. So do we just ask do we just do a post on our group and ask somebody to help fund the T-shirts and somebody else to manage that project?
Well, we could put that in the UCT and see if anybody wants to take it up as a thing, or, if they have experience with creating T-shirts and stuff like that. Because I imagine someone has, because that's a pretty common fundraising aspect.
Yeah.
Well, my concern is the international aspect of it and shipping T-shirts all around the world. How's that going to happen?
That's true.
Well, yeah, but I was thinking about that too. So it's everybody in their own place. They're going to have to order T-shirt. It's not going to be a World Summit order 10,000 T-shirt to send it everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's going to have to do their own things.
Well, it's possible that, it would take some research, but you could possibly find a company that will drop ship for you. It's still, drop shipping, there will be some real costs involved.
Well, here's okay. We have a World Summit Cafe banner that we created professional image. And the idea was that we would just send that JPEG to the cafe host. They would take it to their local printers and have it printed up. The idea is to be decentralized, right? So we could do the same thing with the T-shirts. Just send them the template, and the hosts, that could be their gift to the world, or to the World Summit, is to have their own shirts printed up locally and go out to festivals, etc.
It might be something that, like, when we have the meeting next week with the groups, we bring it up, ask them if they know anyone in their local region that does that. Because I know personally I would have no idea where to go. But, you know.
Richard, what have you done with, I don't know if you can talk, but with the Money Free Party, you've had T-shirts made up, I guess, right? Or Jodian has in the UK?
Yeah, and I just paid for it. Yeah, I just paid for it with my money, Troy. And I mean, actually, they're not that expensive, but I think they ultimately come from China, you know. But, I mean, yeah, listening to you guys, it sounds like, I mean, I'm worried about you guys eating and paying rent next month. Buying T-shirts and sending them all over the world. I mean, yeah. We have to be pretty careful with our ambitious spending, don't we? By the way, I've just arrived in the capital city in Wellington, and this is the Parliament building behind me.
Cool.
Beautiful.
I don't know if you can see anything there. This is called the Beehive.
I can see.
Yeah. There's currently a scene playing out that's like something out of a cheap soap opera. It's pathetic. So it's all grits to our mill anyway. It's honestly, you wouldn't believe grown adults behaving this way. Yeah. But a city, like several others, and of course it's the capital, and I'm right downtown, and there's nowhere to kind of hide, you know, in places like this. So I probably won't be able to contribute very much, but yeah, cool. Carry on anyway. I like what I've heard so far. Sounds good. Yeah.
Hey, Richard, I'm kind of tripping out, man. This is the first time I've seen you with your hair combed.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad you're enjoying that.
I want to say
yeah, I did actually have it cut yesterday. And I don't know, the guys, I mean, it's like a lady's hairdressers, I guess, you know, and a barber's quite often. There's one conversation. And I had an absolute field day. I was in Palmerston North yesterday, which is a small city of about 80,000 people, staying with Scott Andrew, who was one of our candidates in the last election, and had an absolute field day in his city. You know, they're so ready for this. It was just amazing. Yeah, so I'm still buzzing from that, actually. Fantastic.
great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you for the touristing area. Now I want to go inside the beehive.
It's funny, we went from the hair conversation to the beehive conversation. My mother used to have a beehive hairdo.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll go and walk across because they're very keen on open access and everything. So I'll wander around and yeah, I might at least be able to go somewhere not quite so cold. But I expect it'll say no filming, but I'll see how I get on. You guys carry on anyway. Yeah.
Bye. Thank you.
So there's nothing else on the agenda.
Great.
And I guess, yeah. Is there anything else that we should bring up or talk? Because I guess right now it's put out a post to ask if people have ideas for T-shirt fundraising / awareness as a concept.
Yeah. And yeah, somebody who's going to do the post on that.
Well, I'd imagine someone who has access to the World Summit Facebook. I still don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
What do you mean you don't? I don't understand you.
Like the Facebook account, like the actual World Summit, like global account.
As an admin.
Yeah, I don't have admin access.
Would you like it?
Sure.
We would like you to have access, I think.
Okay, yeah, then sure. You can just send me that.
So Can you post something on that? And yeah, talking about, we see quite a few benefits, synergistic benefits from having World Summit T-shirts for fundraising, for cafe hosts, for global awareness, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And we need help, somebody to manage that project, sourcing them, getting them made, or having them made locally. And then, or didn't we just decide that we were going to have it be decentralized and just people? But Richard's saying it's.
Yeah, it's probably a lot cheaper to have it be locally made.
That's how it works.
It's all a matter of funding. If we have funding available, I think it's good for us to offer, have them make it locally, but we can pay for it. Otherwise, we don't have money, then having them make that locally and they pay for it.
Right. If we had money, then we could find a company that could make them, or we pay one price, but like the Vista Prints, right? I don't know if they make T-shirts, but they could probably have orders fulfilled anywhere in the world. But we negotiate a good price on them because we're buying in bulk.
Yeah, well, the problem with buying in bulk, as Lisa mentioned, was that if we want them to be individualized to the location, that's a little harder. Because, I don't imagine one particular free cafe network is going to want like 500 shirts or something.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I think the best idea is to make them print their own T-shirt. We send them the frame, and everybody have to be involved in the process. We have to involve people.
The only issue I see with that is that it might scare people off if that were like asking them to invest in what might be significant monetarily.
Well,
and on top of the time.
I think, first of all, we discussed that we have to check first if they're on board, which was going to know this week. And we could discuss that with them next week.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, because what happens here in Mexico with political campaigns, we're talking about the shirts, is that every community, they print their own shirts. So they have the choice to choose between low quality or if they are very thick quality, because the price it's also varies, it's different. And also if they are going to print it only in one ink. So maybe for the template, we need to do like the colorful option and one color, one ink color. So they can choose if they want a cheap one or.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Okay, good.
I have something I would like to propose for a discussion matter for the next meeting. Well, maybe not the next one, because the next one's going to be mostly surrounded around the cafe with cafe guests. But maybe 2 weeks from now, we can talk a little bit more about the synergy hubs. We got the Costa Rica thing going on now, and maybe we can include this in the discussion as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I thought that we're going to bring the host of the cafe in every meeting, no? Every Tuesday. Involve them. No?
Well, I think it might be a good idea to just have the cafe hosts meeting as its own kind of thing, where we can discuss their issues and their needs and stuff. And then we have the World Summit Cafe Synergy Hub meeting, which would be about how we're working to make more cafes, logistics, all that stuff. I feel like that might be separate.
I think what you could do, Lise, is specify one meeting a month for the cafe members to join.
Yeah, good idea. But we have to keep them, because the purpose of our meeting right now is to find solution of their problems. So they should be involved. They should be involved there every week. And once a month, I don't think we're going to lose because we don't have a lot of time. We have 8 months left, so it's going to be 8 meetings. So I don't think it's a good idea. But what we could do if we do an open agenda like we do for the we do right now for all our slides, during the week they put their ideas, and we could. I guess we have to separate World Summit Cafe and Synergy Hub.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be the most effective way. Is like if you want to spend each week with the cafe hosts making an agenda, talking about the issues they're coming up with, I feel like that would take its own meeting.
And we could do the Synergy Hub after that meeting.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, I don't think that, right. I don't think, a specific meeting on the Synergy Hub is needed. Just some time on the discussion is all.
Yeah, Robert's will drive a lot of that. I'm sure he's got thoughts on it. So we can talk about that next time.
Okay.
But it is two separate things. I think the cafe hosts and the Synergy Hub hosts are different demographics.
Agree. Yeah. And are you agree, all of you, to bring every week the host of the cafe with us in the meeting? It's their meeting. It's our meeting.
Well, that's why I was saying I think there should be two separate meetings, because I feel like we could have this meeting still as it is, where it's about how the World Summit is working in the free cafe slices and stuff, but then also have the meeting for the cafe hosts. I feel like that would be.
I don't know.
Maybe this is the answer. Maybe do, like I said, have one specified per week, per month, 1 week per month, but also give the option for them to join the other meetings.
Well, I think if we do once a month, they're going to get disengaged, like we already have been. I like the concept of they feel like they are the part of the World Summit Free Cafe slice globally, and then they're also, so they're engaged in working with us and helping create the whole cafe network. And then they're also involved locally there. So I think keep them engaged.
Yeah, just have them come to all the meetings.
I think so. I mean, everything is open source now, and there's no hierarchy. So have them become part of it. What did you say?
That maybe on the next meeting that they are going to be present, the hosts of the cafes, we can ask them what is more. What is more useful for them, if to be present every week, or if they prefer only one every 15 days or every month.
Because honestly, I'm thinking that they're not going to have to be there every week. Once you know what you're doing, then you want to spend your time actually having the meeting in your community, not here online.
Well, but they might like being connected at the global level as well.
Yeah. I think Alejandra had an excellent point, and just ask them when they're here next week what would be most beneficial.
Yeah, it's a teamwork. They have to be involved and they take the decision. Yeah, I think guys. Sorry. Yeah, I think that now we have to. I'm talking about generally. We have to bring people with us and involve them in the making of decision of the World Summit and everything. We have to, it's my feeling. We are there now.
Yeah, that's a great point, Lise. We need to empower people that they are involved in every aspect of everything, right?
Yes.
There are no boundaries or borders anymore between the World Summit global and then they're local. It's all one,
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okay.
Okay.
It's 14.
Sounds like a good time to end it then.
Wait, just real quick, one more thing I just want to throw out there. It's kind of off subject, but I just want to make this observation. And I'm not looking for anything to change. It's just an observation. But these last couple meetings that we've had, this one and the other one with small attendance, like 4 or 5 people, I feel like they've been very productive, much more so than the ones that have more attendees. So maybe we might want, and they always say that smaller groups work better together than larger groups. So just something to consider. I don't know, obviously it's tough enough to get people together for meetings as it is. So dividing them up into smaller groups would be a real challenge. But I just wanted to throw that out there and see if you guys agree. Do you agree? Seems like it's been a lot more productive.
Yeah, we finished.
Well, it's productive, but man, I feel like there's so much work that needs to be done, and I'm worried that it's going to end up, we're going to be burning out soon unless we get more people coming to help. What's happened, JJ, you've been on all these different slice meetings. Alejandra's been on all of them. I've been on all of them. Lisa, everybody here has. That's not, I think we're going to have a problem with burnout if we're all trying to do everything, And so we've got to get more people involved. I mean, it's great to learn. It's great for Alejandra and Tiana to be on these calls and see everything and learn how the whole organization works. But to do that on an ongoing basis, it's too much for each of us, I think.
Well, I agree. I agree with that because, to be honest with you, some of these slices aren't really my passion, but I just want to come here and hold the space, to help build the team.
Yeah. And you know what? If we do an agenda and we present to everybody a few days in advance, they add their thing and we stick to the agenda. This is a very important point. Not go there and there and there on the meeting. If we put the minutes, see the action, stick on the agenda, and done. And I agree totally with Troy. It's going to be more work and more work. Already, me, I don't know, too many things to do, So, and we're not super power, we're going to have to trust the other person, the other people, and get involved them. And well, it's the aim of the World Summit. We have to unify with other people. We're not just going to be just 10 of us and doing fucking change the world. I'm sorry.
Okay. What about, I have an idea that it just brought it into my mind. What about, because we are doing the agendas and we have the minutes written from each of the meetings, why don't we take turns as teams? For example, if we've seen today that a group of 5 people is more effective, maybe after we invite all the hosts of the cafes, we can arrange like teams for 5 hosts that they are going to lead the next meeting. They already have the agenda and the minutes. So they are going to be in charge of doing the minutes and everything. And then the next week, another team could take place, and so we can involve them too. And we can release our the job. And also, as Liz said, is how they are going to get involved, and also they are going to work too.
Do they do that in the political campaigns or anything?
No, I just got that idea right now.
But, Alessandra, we already do that. Like for the UCT team, every month, now it's me and Nathaniel, but next month it's going to be two other person. And but now Nathaniel, he's host on every slice, so because he wanted. But about the minutes, it's supposed to be a changing person too every time. And we did, because I don't like to say to someone, you remember, Troy, we always suggest that people, they should offer themselves to do it, not direct.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking like to build teams of 5 people. So every week, different teams are doing the follow-up of the previous meeting.
I think that's actually what we will probably need to work towards, some model like that as we scale up. And that sort of gets to what JJ's talking about and this notion of tribes. And the World Summit being a tribe of tribes, or what I call in my book, geo-tribal, where, we're one big tribe, but underneath that, we've got a bunch of smaller tribes. And they already, they know there's something called the Dunbar number that says beyond like 150 people, you lose the tribal aspects because you can't know everybody and have relationships with everyone. So there is something absolutely too, working in smaller tribes. But maybe that's a software thing that we need, or a platform or something to be able to facilitate it.
And this is for technology and governance, no?
Yeah, we're working on it.
Okay, great. Are we complete?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
So see you guys tomorrow, at least the one they are there.
Yeah. See you all at the UCT meeting.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.
See you guys. No.
Thank you for sharing your tourist place.
Yeah, thank you, Richard.
Yeah, thanks, Richard.
Enjoy the beehive.
Get a haircut.